But
What's up? I hear you. Come on, speak. Say something.
ha,
Yeah, I hear you now. You sound better.
ha, what's that?
What's up? What's up?
All right, all right, all right.
What's going
Testing
on?
1, 2, 3. This is Quarantine TV.
Facts,
Very
facts,
first interview live with the artist
facts.
with yours truly, Mister Enigma
What's going on? How
from
y'all doing?
Dirt. Big up
Tuned
New
in.
Jersey.
We tuned in. We tuned in. We here.
And
We. What's going on with you?
nothing much, man. Doing my best to cope. Coping this bullshit. That's
Yeah,
about it. That's all we could do.
yeah. Gotta keep your sanity, man. It's if you
Mm,
don't have it, people that don't have it are going crazy thinking
This
they do have it. It's a lot going on.
party. All right, so again, like I said, this is one of our first tattoo artist interviews, quarantine TV, whatever you want to call it, or tattoo select. We have a page that's on Facebook, but we're still under construction. We're working on some things, but that is soon to be coming in full effect as soon as this entire quarantine is over with. How long have you been tattooing?
I've been tattooing for over 11 years now. 11
Hmm,
years total. Yep.
about 11
Yeah.
years. So, okay. So what did
Yeah.
you become a
Blue.
artist?
What'd you say?
What inspired you to become a tattoo artist?
It's two things. Two things that inspired me. One thing was because I've seen a lot of bad tattoo jobs out here on people's skin, and me doing a lot of artwork and doing a lot of drawing. I looked at the situation like, well, let me give this a shot. Maybe I could do better. And also the other reason was the concept of being able to put your art on somebody's skin is just was just mind blowing to me. Being able to do that and them taking it to the grave with them. I just thought it was an amazing concept, and having clients who could put their faith and trust into you, and you dedicate they're dedicated to you, and they keep coming back and bring more business and continue business. I always thought it was a cool concept.
Okay. And what is your discipline like? What is your favorite media of art as far as tattooing?
I mean, I could bounce around all types of media, but my favorite it would be between Chicano, the Mexican style in LA, Japanese, and horror. But what I like the most is, I would say the Chicano style. The Chicano style is I just love the way, from the prison to the streets, how they articulate, their culture. I always love how they put it together.
Yeah.
I
Well, as
always thought that was amazing.
far as Chicano styles go,
Huh?
what's your inspiration as far as Chicano styles go? Like, which artist?
Mr. Cartoon. Mr. Cartoon, I always loved the way he executed his work. The that fine line needle art, it's I always was blown away by that, and how he did it with the details and the things that the material that he put together and the way he put it together on people's skin. It was just, and even with the LA style, like I don't the ink is not like too dark. It kind of looked like they was born with it. So I don't know. I always liked that look. I always thought it was really pretty dope.
Okay. So your name is Mister Enigma. Did you start out as Mister Enigma? Like, what inspired the name Mister Enigma?
Honestly, I just started out just using my abbreviations from my government, but over over the years, people always used to say that I was, hard to figure out. So the name really came from the the Riddler's government name from Batman, because it's Edward Enigma. So I was like, I don't know, it just clicked. So I was like, let me take the Enigma, and I just ran with it. And the Mister is actually me paying homage to Mr. Cartoon, since he inspired me so much, and just looking at his stuff, I just it's like a, dedication to him as a level of respect. And, that's when I really took off and, took everything seriously. So that's how it came. That's how it came to be.
I was looking at that interview that you had put me up on. Not actually the documentary.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, LA Originals. That was pretty good. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that very
Yeah, I hope they drop more. They said they had enough footage to make like 5, 6 more of those. They have enough footage to make a documentary of the the lowrider lifestyle in Japan, because people in Japan just took that Chicano lifestyle and, bought a lot of the cars and fixed it up, and they they just expanded the culture, a subculture from the Chicano style. So that's just I really want to see that too now, because they
good.
have like
They,
25 years of footage.
that's dope. They actually love our culture a lot over there.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They really do. And they said that when it came to the lowrider community, the Japanese just saved it, because they used to buy cars in bulk and
Mm,
ship it to Japan.
really?
And I was like, wow, this is, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I would love to see something like that in the future if they do that. So yeah.
And what do you like most about being an artist now in the year 2020? You know, tattoos have came a long way. So what do you like most about that?
Um the technology wise, I like the fact that, the it's a lot of people setting trends, especially overseas, in the European areas. They the the way they're doing it now compared to how it used to be, how primitive it looked back then. Uh, that's amazing. But, my personal experience, what I like most about being a tattoo artist is just, making people happy. Making my clients happy when, I do a successful job on their skin and they look in the mirror and they just blown away by it, because it seems like when they come through the door, I don't know, it seems like their expectations isn't that high, but when they get the tattoo done and they see the work and to know that they're happy about it, that's what makes me happy. So,
That's great. All right. So what educational background? Like, where did your art start? Like, where it led to this current day in you being an
um,
artist? Like, where did it all start for you?
it started when I was a kid. When I was my my mother used to, back in the day, they used to give us like the coloring books, and the coloring books in between, like every other page was a sketchbook. I mean, was a sheet of sketch paper. So I started there, and then from there, doing on regular paper, and I learned later on, years later, my father was an artist, and when I confronted him about it, he really didn't want to talk about it, so I just let it be. But I just used to get blown away by his art. He used to draw with charcoal and Indian ink, and he would draw everything from, postcards. He would draw like ships in the sea, to even one picture I'll never forget. Where he used to, where he was born and raised at, in Atlantic City. He had a picture that when you look out of his window, you would see, he would draw the whole street from everything down to the telephone poles and the wires. So I was just blown away by that stuff, and that inspired me. And from there, we, just from schooling, I went to a vocational technical school at Scotch Plains. I learned commercial art. When I first started doing commercial art for the first week, we did like shading and learned the lighting, and then after that, I was shook when they told us that we had to, not do anything drawing wise anymore, and everything had to be on computer. So I ain't gonna lie, I was scared, I was nervous, I was ready to quit the class. So I just, once you do a certain medium for so many years, when you're thrown in a situation that you're not going to be able to do that type of medium no more, you like, oh, like, will I be able to actually function? Will I be able to do this? So I learned, it was patient with me, and over the years, I got the program, and I've been running with it ever since. And I just constantly just been studying with the art. Every as much time as I possibly can, I look at artwork online, or I watch animes, trying to get the as much knowledge I can with the anime, with the characters, the dynamic shape and movement, the lighting, the coloring, how they put all of that together. So yeah, I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. So it's this type of art form. It's never just you just learn that art form and that's it. You always gotta grow just to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So what was that feeling like when you first held your first tattoo machine and you actually had to put it to? Because that's a very intimidating feeling. Like I remember my first time tattooing someone. I was so nervous. I didn't go in deep enough. Like it was crazy. What was your first experience like?
well, my first experience with a tattoo machine, I've literally just did it on face skin, and I remember being told just to had the machine in your hand and just let it go for a while so you could get used to the vibration. I remember when the top half of my hand would get numb, and I was like, okay, this is something I really want to do, so I just got to figure it out. So what I did was just deal with it. I would just like people would keep a stress ball in their hand. It was times for a couple hours here and there. I would literally have the machine in my hand vibrating, getting used to that tingling feeling, that tingling sensation, and trying to ignore it so I can understand that. Then after a while, when I started tattooing, it was like I had to learn more to stretch the skin. And after a while, you learn the science of it. I tell people who want to get into tattooing, this is not no part-time job or some fly-by-night thing. It's a science to it. It's a science when it comes to needles, needle depth, needle groupings, stretching the skin, how deep to go, how many times you might have to go over that same line to make sure that that line is thick, and make sure that that ink is strong in the skin. It's a science. So you got to take it serious. Anything you do in life, whatever your passion is, you have to take it serious, and it has to be like a drug to you.
Right.
So it has to be
And
like a drug. Your passion is your drug, huh?
what challenges have you find yourself faced with uh, tattooing?
The challenges, I don't know. You know what? It's not really with me. The challenges is not really the tattooing as far as the skill of social media exposure. I think that's the very hardest part, especially as an artist, is social media exposure. So trying to get people to, really want to look at your work, really want to, get into, your world, so to speak. So, and you have to have content. You have to have something that'll grab people's attention, because you're only as good as your last click. So, if you got like 5 images and the only person like one image, that person might not even ever come back to your page again. So you have to gravitate their attention to you. So yeah,
Right.
I think that's it. Is the social media exposure. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give new artists as far as cross contamination? Because I've been seeing people light a blunt and smoking while they're tatting, and things like that. What would you
Um.
tell about cross contamination?
When it comes to cross contamination, I would tell people simply go to OSHA.gov, take the test for to be certified first, and YouTube. Go to YouTube channels. They have a lot of videos about cross contaminations, how to clean your area, clean your stations. But it's it's you when it comes to cross contamination, it is so easy to contaminate. A lot of people could go get a tattoo. They go get a tattoo. The area might be clean, but if somebody calls them, they'll have their gloves on. They'll answer the phone. The screen is dirty. They're cross contaminated when they jump back on a person's skin, or if the artist takes a break with a client, they might, grab a juice bottle, and the juice bottle can be contaminated. They don't take off their gloves, and you have to really be conscious of what you touch, because you could get a person sick and not even know about it. And that one bad review, your word is your image, your word and all is everything. So if you get that one bad review and people say that, something bad happened, it's really gonna damage your name. It can damage your career. So you have to be careful at all costs. You have to take care of your clients as if like they're family. So you don't want to get your family member infected. If you was in a situation where you got to tattoo your mother, would you want to really put your mother in a hospital for an infection? No. So you have to treat people like you would, treat your own family or treat your own flesh and blood. And when it comes to smoking and doing all of that stuff like that, the smoke in the air cause like a film. When it comes to being clean, you have to make sure the bathroom's clean, the floors is clean regularly. It's minor surgery, and especially like you want to go to your doctor's office, and your doctor's chilling, smoking a blunt. He just finished smoking. He's like, yo, what's going on, man? I'm gonna give you this shot of medicine. Right? You will look at it funny. You got to make sure everything is clean. You got to make sure when you go to a doctor's office, everything is clean and sterilized. You have that you had that paper going over the seat, going over the chair for the patients, because you don't want patients' germs and disease from the last patient to touch you. That's cross contamination. So tattooing is minor surgery. So you have to make sure that your client is taken care of.
Mm.
Yep.
What's the craziest situation that you've ever been in as far as tattooing? Like craziest class or
Craziest situation. I would say sexual favors. Sexual sexual favors. So I mean, it's
yeah.
had females tell me that they would you know do something sexual for a tattoo, and then when I told them no, I'm like, pussy pays no bills. They're gonna look at me like, ah, well, your art is trash anyway. But if I'm trash, you reached out to me. I guess hopefully they'll realize that I'm, more serious than they thought I was. And also, I had a crazy situation recently where this guy hit me up and said he wanted a matching tattoo on him and his cat. And at first, I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh, you want a gladiator tattoo with a mixture of a cat combo? I was like, okay, cool. I could do that. Nah, I mean, on me, a gladiator tattoo, like a Spartan helmet or whatever, on me and my cat. I love my cat, and we ride or die, and my cat been through a lot, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, I was like, yo, you're a funny guy. You're funny. You're funny. I was like, yo, you're a comedian. He was like, nah. He was like, yo, I'm dead ass. I'm like, and I'm dead ass. I'm not putting myself or my license or anything in a compromising situation like that. And that's animal cruelty. So hell no, get out of here. So he was like, oh, that's fine. I'll do it myself. I'm like, so I don't know. Like I learned to not take situations like that serious, because if you let things get to your head, emotionally and mentally, it's going to really drive you crazy. So I think it was a joke. If it wasn't a joke, hope he gets arrested. But I'm like, okay, whatever. So I think it was a joke, me personally. But I don't know. You never know. People weird nowadays. People probably.
Right.
So I've seen images online of cats with tattoos, but it was Photoshop. These pictures out here are very deceiving. So
Yeah.
some somebody probably he saw that and he was like, "Yo, that'd be dope. I could tattoo my cat." Nah, so
Mad.
that's not cool at all. So mm-mm.
Now, from personal experience, I know that a lot of tattoo artists are artists in different realms as well. So, is there anything else, any hidden secrets, any other arts that you dibble and dabble with? Any past arts other than drawing and being a tattoo artist?
Ah, artists that I dibbled and dabbled with. Oh. When I was in Arizona, I was about 12, 13 years old. I did animation for a little bit. I did that stop and go animation with clay. And yeah, even though it was tedious, yo, it was wow fun. I mean, it was fun. I loved it, and I would definitely try it again. So I like that style, and it was dope. That was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's tedious and annoying, and you got to set up everything, and every little you got to move it for every little little inch by inch, and you got to make sure everything is the molding is smooth, and you got to be right, and you I forgot how they did it. I think you have the image and you just film it for like 3 to 5 seconds, and you stop, go to the end, go to the the clay or whatever. You gotta move it just a little bit more, then you go back 3 to 5 seconds, stop. You got it's wild tedious, but when it comes out, when you do it, be like, oh, I did all of that and something that was tedious and annoying. I recorded this and it came out amazing. So yeah, that was it. But I think what I really want to do, a medium that I really want to try is ice sculpting. I want to try that at least once. Give me a nice block of ice and give me a chainsaw, and I want to try it. I was always intrigued by ice sculpting as a kid, so that's something I would definitely like to try.
yeah,
You
that's
know?
really interesting. I've seen
Yeah.
actually my sister-in-law had an ice sculpture at her wedding, and I
Okay.
was just, wow, this is really
Mhm.
detailed. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe someone sat there with a chisel and
Yeah.
a hammer the whole time. He just chipped away at this, but it costed a pretty penny though.
I heard they whatchamacallit, I heard they inject the block of ice with some type of some chemical to make it last as long as it can, because in real time, depending on the weather or whatever, the ice will melt fast. But
How safe is that? Because they had beverages running down there,
okay.
so that's good.
Yeah, so I heard they put something in there, so this is a slow melt. But yeah, man, that's I'm curious about, to be honest with you, when it comes to art, I'm curious about all forms, no matter what it is. Still curious about doing digital animation or drawing it old school style. I was always impressed with the Looney Tunes 1930s artwork. I would like to do a comic book again in the near future, put something together, even if it's just one, put together like a graphic novel, something like 250, 300 pages, something, hardcover it up, put it out there, even if it's just one. I just want to do it because, like I said, the last time I did a comic, I was like 6, 7 years old, and I was just messing around with it. So, and my parents looked at me, was like, "Ah, you just got to keep it clean. We don't want no blood and nudity and no bad language and nothing." So I was like, "Alright." So I literally, the character was literally some character in space, and he was fighting all of these robots, and since I can't show blood, I had to artistically use robots, and he's ripping ligaments apart, and saying you see nothing but wire and nuts and bolts thrown everywhere. But yeah, that was my creative way of doing it. But it what I'm saying, it was for the age that I did it, it came out pretty good. But I have an idea in my head. I don't want to talk about it now because I don't want it to get stolen, but I have an idea in my head that's urban. It would be an urban comic that would be dope. So I had it in my head in like movie form, real time in my head for at least like a good 5, 6 years. So I already written everything down for the most part. I would still have to go back and tweak the storyline. Then I gotta put together a script, and that's another thing too. It's a process. Comic books is a process. So from the storyline to the thumbnails of the sketches to the paneling to the sketching of the characters, then the inking, from the inking to the coloring, from the coloring to lettering. It's a process, but yeah.
Okay, so what is your end goal? Like when you think about after you open up your tattoo shop, create a name, what do you see yourself doing after that life?
My end goal is to leave a mark. Is to leave a mark and create tons of material for future generations that they could look at the work and be inspired and say, hey, listen, I could do this and I could level up and do better. So, and that's the main goal. The main goal, yeah, of course, is to be the best in your craft, but also to inspire somebody to be better. Because it's a kids somewhere in their house right now, nothing to do. They're not into video games like that. It's not their thing. And they're listening to music and they're vibing off of art. And I want to inspire that person to see my artwork and see other people's artwork and be like, yo, you know what, I like that, but I got an idea that can amplify that. I got an idea that I can make that better. And that's the goal, say, because art lives forever, you know what I'm saying? So, and making sure you put the best material out there and inspire, whether they get a tattoo or they might take a small they might take just one picture, that one idea, and be like, yo, I could make an animation just out of this one idea and I could expand on it. Magazines like back in the day, heavy metal magazines and mad magazines, like artistically, I know it looks crazy now, but back then it was mind blowing. So being able to take something like that and expanding on it and put your own twist and your flavor into it, the goal is to expand people's minds. Because I
Okay.
mean, after a while, it's tiring when you copy off everybody else. We're in a situation now in a generation where everybody is copycats. So I probably get tired of my work if I seen a copycat after a while. Like, so I'm like, okay, if I come out with a book and I'm seeing everybody having it and everybody getting tattoos of it, I'm like, yo, I gotta step my game up to bring something else to the table. Because after a while, I'll be like, oh my god, everybody got it, but it happens. But that's the goal, is to be better than your last.
Right. He says, "What's good, fam?"
Yeah, man, that's one of my clients. I did a Masa Musa piece on him for his first tattoo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Are
He
you
keeps.
from?
Yeah, man,
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay.
So yeah, what's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, man. So
So again, I hope everybody's being safe during quarantine. I don't know where you're from, but wherever you're from, be safe.
yeah, facts, definitely, man. Stay safe out there.
First happened, I didn't think it was that serious. I'm like, what is that? But now I'm starting more and more cases and more deaths. It's wild.
It's serious out here, man. So
Yeah.
that's why my main goal now. If I have to go out, I'll just get some food and come right back. But in the meantime, I'm gearing up and getting things ready you know for the future. Just
Right.
been drawing, uploading a lot of content and putting it on my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is Dipped in Ink. You can find I have a link on my website, safehaventattoos.com. I have my Instagram account, and next to that is the YouTube icon. Click on that icon every other day. I'm always dropping something, so either tattoo related, art related, so, doing time lapses. So I'm keeping busy with that. I have synthetic skin around here, practicing tattooing on that. So the main goal is just to make sure that I become better than I was last week. So yeah, man, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate you always show me love, man. I appreciate you for that. I appreciate everybody. Every little bit helps. Definitely. So yeah, but I appreciate you, coming through and saying you want to do the interview. I was shocked. I was thrown back, but I'm like, me? Nah. It is what it is. I appreciate it.
Real talk, you real dope. You know what I mean? I love your drawings. I love the new time lapse. And actually, what's crazy is what what gave you that push though to make you go ahead and start doing the time lapse videos? Because I know you said technology wasn't like your big thing, and it was a little transition. So, what gave you
Yeah,
that push?
boredom. Boredom gave me that push. It was really, me sitting around with nothing to do. And I was thinking about it. I said, even though I don't like being in front of a camera, I was like, you know what? If I record myself doing the time lapses, you're only seeing my hands. So I'm like, I might as well do it. And then after a while creating the content, I was like, yo, I should have been did this. And now and what was it? In less than 3 months, I had like 30 videos that's already posted. Like I said, every other day, um, excluding the weekend. So it'll be 3 times 1 week. Like this week, it's going to be three. I dropped one today, which is Money Making Mario. Wednesday, I'm dropping the Rotten Apple, and I'm dropping something crazy for Friday. And then the next week, it's going to be two videos, and the following week, it's going to be three. So, it alternates. But everything is just I just like it. And at first I would just do the drawing and then record me inking it up and shading it and all. But then I realized that when people commented, they say, yo, I want to see everything from scratch. I was like, I want to see everything from scratch. I said, cool. So I just did it from beginning to end, from literally putting everything together from beginning to the end and showing everybody my level of authenticity. And also, I also love the fact that when my clients come to me, I will show them my portfolio and I will show them my, original artwork, and they will look at it and it was like, yo, I like that you do the hand drawing. And it's a lot of people out here that really don't care about the computer stuff. They don't care about the iPad. They don't care about none of that. They want to see the old school hand drawing. And I was like, all right, you know what, fine. That's what y'all want. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want. But
The real tattoo collectors appreciate that. Everybody
yeah,
into that the art of tattooing is
yeah, it's
already.
it's more authentic when you do the artwork. Saying through a computer, it's like, okay, it's quick, it's fake. Anybody could do it. It's like a person grabbing a smartphone and saying, oh, yeah, well, I'm a photographer now. I know how to take pictures. No, you don't. You know nothing about photography. People who have, cameras, they know how to take pictures. My father used to do that as a photographer, do photography as a hobby. And he had a Canon and a Minolta. He had different lenses and all of that. And he would take all types of pictures. And that's an art. You having a phone just like everybody else with a phone taking pictures, yeah, it's cool. You like to take pictures, but just being able to take pictures off of a phone and photography, it's two different monsters. It's two different things. So just because you have the convenience of technology does not make you the best at that craft.
Right.
So yeah.
Hey,
So
man.
people going through it, man. Let me tell you something. Barbers, hairstylists, and nail techs, man. I think the essential workers too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah.
People
Yeah,
going
you
through it.
guys are. Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys are. You guys are definitely part of the essential team. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
people don't realize how important you guys are, but you
Yeah.
guys keep a lot of uglies pretty.
Yeah,
You got
man.
yeah,
Yeah. These are tough times right now, but everybody who makes it through it, I'm telling you, it's gonna make them better people.
yeah, that's
So that
true. And my condolences to anyone on here who lost a loved one. You
yeah.
know, and it's
Same here,
why
man.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's a lot going on, man. I lost a couple of people recently, and it's just yeah, it's a lot. So I lost a couple of people I know. So it's just like, whoa. I know a couple of people who were sick and they fought through it, and I'm so happy they did because I just their families' world would have been crumbled if they went, but
yeah,
gotta hang in there. Just gotta hang in there, and like I said, just follow the rules and stay home. Keep the mask on, and saying the hell with 6 feet, man. Do 12 feet if you have to, man. Just I don't care if you gotta spray down, your door handles, car handles, and so everything you touch. If you go to Walmart or whatever, spray the cart handles and protect yourself at all costs.
That's
So
me looking like a
wash
serious
your
drunk,
hands.
walking around with a can of Lysol in the car, in the house. I'm
But you
almost
know what's
out.
crazy?
I
But you know
wish
what's
when I
crazy? You know what's crazy about this whole thing is I think a lot of people forgot over the years, but this is the way our parents taught us back in the days anyway, is to be clean. We was always taught never to, come in the house bringing, outside clothes in and all of that. So it's just basically everything now is basically being enforced from what we were taught as kids. So, you know, I was taught that. I was taught to wash my hands and crazy scorching hot water and wash off the dirt and the germs and to use dial soap and what I'm saying, make sure you can't be walking around with mud on your shoes and all of that and leave it outside or what I'm saying. So it's
how
basically enforcing
crazy is
stuff we was taught years ago. Because me, I usually don't show my face that much because I try and let everybody know it's not about the person, it's about the art, what the person has to give. But this is cool, man. I definitely want to, put this out there on my YouTube channel and
yeah, yeah,
you
definitely, definitely.
maybe I'll put this up Friday on my YouTube channel and put it
Yeah,
together. And,
make sure you share it through Tattoo Celebs too, because we got to really get more
oh yeah,
eyes.
yeah, definitely, definitely. But I'm gonna have to email you the link or something, and you know, trying to get this video footage over to you, or I'll
I
go
think
on tattoo. Yeah, I'll go on tattoo so
them
upload it.
here starting to freeze up and shit.
Yeah, it was doing that. It was doing that earlier, and then it smoothed out.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they ain't stop us yet, because usually with the live they'll stop in about an hour. Maybe the hour isn't up yet, but
yeah. I don't think we've been on for an hour. I'd say 45 minutes.
okay, cool.
How long the
That
time
was the
was when you actually get on?
and that was the plan. So we about to get off anyway. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, thank you everybody for viewing. I don't know how much you see on your end. I only see two. Thank you for viewing. I know it was a lot more people than that in here.
yeah, I know. I see two
Thank
also.
you.
It's all good because I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna keep it up for the 24 hours. And they see it on IG, and they usually come late to see the stuff. And then the footage is already recorded. I'm gonna just save it and you know tweak it from there.
Yeah.
So
We love y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
good night.